Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Berean TV. Berean, I just wanted to do a short video on the subjects of cult and the occult. A lot of people, I get questions, a lot of people don't really understand the difference. When you start talking about a cult, C-U-L-T, a cult is just break away from anything that we consider orthodoxy. What's orthodox, what's straight. A cult is a break away from that. You have various types of cults. You have Christian cults, you have Islamic cults, you have regular secular cults. Let me give you an example. A Christian cult would be the Mormon Church or the Jehovah's Witnesses. Those would be groups that you would consider a Christian cult. Why do we call them a cult? Because they break away from orthodoxy. What the majority of the Christian church teaches, the Mormon Church teaches something different. Jehovah's Witnesses teach something different. Most of the time they have their own scriptures or their own version of scriptures, or they have another book, such as the Book of the Mormons and Watchtower magazine, that they hold on par with the canon, with the scripture. Most of the time, another sign when you're dealing with the cult, most of the time when the leader or whoever the founder of the cult is, when they come on the scene, there's a revelation from them, from the Most High God to them and them alone. That's the situation we have with Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon Church. The whole church was messed up, and Jesus messed up until the Mormon, Joseph Smith, the Mormon prophet, came on the scene. Same thing with Charles Taz Russell with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and there are some that would even argue and bring the Seventh-day Adventists into that, with Ella G. White and some of her prophecies or false prophecies concerning the Christ and the return of Jesus and a lot of stuff like that. So that's C-U-L-T. That's a cult. That's a breakaway. You can look at cult as something that's bootleg. It comes after the original. You never saw any bootleg Louis Vuitton bags or Gucci pocketbooks until the real Gucci bag came out. The real Louis bag came out, then bootlegs would be, it popped up all over the place. So when you're dealing with religion, you could think of a cult like the bootleg type of thing. Those are Christian cults, but you also have Islamic cults. An example of an Islamic cult would be something like the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam started by Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and now headed up by Minister Louis Farrakhan. That is what we call an Islamic cult. They teach the superiority of the black man, even though Minister Farrakhan's teachings have recently changed. I see that he's even leaning towards Scientology. So very interesting. But they don't teach what Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the founder of the religion of Islam, teaches. They teach a breakaway, a different form of it. The same thing with Noble Drew Ali in the Moore Science Temple. They had a Circle 7 Quran, which was different from what the other over 1 billion Muslims on this planet believe. So they would be considered a Nation of Islam, an Islamic cult. So that's the word cult. And there's another word, occult, O-C-C-U-L-T. What is the occult? The occult is doctrines on anything that's considered secret or mystical. You need special training to understand certain things in the occult, and that's a different word. A lot of people think that's something spooky, but occult just have to do with a secret teaching. Many people believe that Jesus had a secret teaching. In my next video, I'll get into that, the occult, the third eye in the Bible. And we're going to talk a little bit about mystery teachings, the Gnostics, and what the mystery schools have taught down throughout the years. And can we find that in Scripture, as far as the third eye and the pineal gland? A lot of people quote the 6th chapter of Matthew, Jesus speaking about your eye, and if your eye be dark, the evil eye. And is that proper biblical interpretation? Is that how orthodoxy, is that how we interpret Scripture? I'll get into a history of biblical interpretation and what happened in Alexandria and Egypt and Clement and different church fathers and Kabbalah, how people have joined esoteric teachings or a secret teaching along with Scripture. Were they always there? That's important, and that's heavy right now, especially for believers to understand. We definitely know it's different levels to Scripture, but was that teaching always there? Was it something joined alongside of it? And we're going to explain all of that When I even think about churches, I speak to a lot of church people because I'm trying to train some saved folk. A lot of times you don't understand religion and spirituality are two different things. But in Europe, a lot of Freemasons were building the cathedrals. And they, inside their building, they embedded the esoteric doctrine, or what we call the occult doctrine. And Christians come to church and we don't ask questions like, well, why is that steeple on the church? Why a lot of the churches that were built in Europe, why are they all facing the east and the rising of the sun? And what's the gargoyles on the building? You have all type of things that's set in stone or written in stone that's on the building of the cathedrals. And we have to explain about that. And that's an esoteric doctrine that have always been connected. Remember my other videos, a Bible, occult, and the New World Order, or the Illuminati, we have to understand that when it comes down to it, there's always been two doctrines. There's always been two streams of knowledge. And there were exactly two trees in the Garden of Eden. We're going to talk about that metaphorically, what the Garden of Eden means in Kabbalah. Is the Garden of Eden inside of you the two spheres of your brain, or was it a literal garden? And the different levels that those things are being taught on the internet, different places. I just wanted to make this short video. If y'all like what y'all hear, subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.